All right, let's talk about GDC. Scott, you had a chance to I guess, were you in the crowd when Mr. Jensen Huang introduced the latest Shield device from Nvidia?
I was, and
And
I think we all saw this coming from like a million miles out.
mhm.
Um, Jeff Jeff Prime, I don't friggin' know Geoff. So you played with the Shield tablet. Did you play with the
Yep.
Shield portable or just a tablet?
No, just the portable.
It's or
Or
just
just the tablet,
okay.
sorry, yeah.
I had the portable, which is the little handheld thing. I had the tablet. I played with the game stream stuff and the grid sort of Netflix for games that they have. You hooked it up to my TV, done all that stuff. They've been building for a while to okay, we're gonna take a Tegra based setup. We're gonna put it or Tegra based system. We're gonna put it in an enclosure. You connect to your TV. Jordan, it's a lot like an Apple TV, but then it
Mhm.
has gaming chops. And so the idea is it runs Android. It comes with a single game controller, and the game controller is a great thing because it lets you play games, but it also acts as the remote for it, right? And it runs Android TV, which is an interface built explicitly around 10-foot like couch-based interaction stuff. And so they're Netflix apps, they're all those things. Plus, they have the ability to stream games from your PC, the ability to play native Shield optimized Android games, like built for it's a Tegra X1 mobile SoC from Nvidia. So they've got that, and then they have this grid service which does remote game streaming, where they're gonna like you can subscribe for whatever bucks per month they're gonna charge, and then you get access to these basically these PC games that run on a remote server, and then the video streams to you and you interact and play. And for some genres of games, like that's fast enough to work well, right? Not for everything, and it does kind of depend on where the data center is and how fast your internet connection is and things like that. But um, this is like their move into the living room, which is interesting because the living room is where things go to die, right? Windows Media Center PCs. Like I think they're still trying on Steam machines, and we're going to talk about that, but so far nothing. Apple TV is like kind of like well, we'll put that there and then we'll abuse and neglect it. Um, like a lot of stuff has gone into the living room and not been able to put a dent in really uh, Xbox and PlayStation, which is the things that really win in the living room. Um,
Yeah,
so this is their attempt. The strange thing to me is that it's $200.
Yep.
does it
I
seem high or low to you?
It seems
That's
really high because
Mm.
like it is a high spec mobile SoC, right? The Tegra X1 is the latest thing based on Maxwell. They have an expensive game controller. It costs $60 if you buy the controller alone, and I see why they ship with one. Like I get that. Like it makes sense, but um, like I think if they can do game stream from your PC, Android games at a reasonable resolution and performance, all the Netflix streaming, all the Amazon streaming, all of that stuff, and their grid service stuff. They could do all of that on a lower spec SoC than their latest Tegra X1. Because Jeff, you did it on the Shield tablet with Tegra K1,
Yep.
no problem, right? I used it on the older Tegra on the Shield Portable, no problem. Most of these things do not depend on the SoC having tons of graphics oomph. Only the specifically optimized Android games that run locally require that. And it's weird. It's weird to me that they're leading with something expensive because they could have led with something that was like $79, and then you buy the controller, or it comes with a cheaper controller, maybe that's not super deluxe, um, and like gotten into a lot of living rooms. This is a big ask. It feels like you're getting really close to a PlayStation or a Xbox to me. So
Well, and part of it is that you're playing native games because last week also Valve announced its $50 Steam Link, which is kind of a like a Chromecast for Steam streaming that doesn't come with a controller, but it's only $100 with the Steam controller included, and that's coming out in November. So if you're just interested in streaming PC games and don't want to limit yourself to a GeForce graphics card, which Game Stream requires, Valve is going to have this sort of cheap dongle device that I don't know what kind of sort of native media capabilities it will have, if it will have any. But it wouldn't surprise me if they had some sort of basic media playback, either if it's streamed from your PC or just doing it natively because they've got a cheap SoC in there. But like you're really paying that extra money for the native Android games, which if you're also going to be streaming, you would presumably also have on your PC and be able to play that way. So it seems like the value proposition seems to be hinging on this native experience that's kind of a weird in between a full fat console and sort of a cheaper Android device.
Yeah, and I guess it should be said that they're not that far from the full fat consoles with the Tegra X1. I mean, it's
Well,
not
they say
as
it's twice as powerful as an Xbox 360. They
right,
actually haven't made any comparisons to the Xbox One or the PS4.
right, and those are more powerful, but this is just pretty beefy hardware in its way, and they do have a bunch of like natively optimized games, Jordan, and they had people from like, of course, it was GDC, so everybody's there already. So they have people from like Epic and id Software and Gearbox Software, and they announced like Doom BFG Edition and Borderlands the pre-sequel, and a number of things were being ported natively to the Shield box. But it was a little weird because it was like they brought out all their like old school PC game developer friends, and we're talking about couch-based gaming. And to me,
Hmm.
couch-based gaming succeeds when you go to the genres that Nintendo dominates. Like those are the things that work well. Platformers, racing games, things like that work well on a couch in a communal setting, that kind of thing. The demos that they showed of people like playing the games on the little controller with the shield that were first-person shooters, like the people were like clumsy, like they were aiming around wrong and stuff because they're not any good playing with the controller. It was hilarious to see because I mean that's what happens when I try to play a first-person shooter on one of those. I know they sold like gazillions of Calls of Duty on the Xbox, but it's
Yeah.
still like not a native experience for a lot of people who are Nvidia's like audience, you know. So I don't know. It sounds it's interesting that they're finally there. We expected them to go there. We need to get hands on with one and play with it. It's just maybe really ambitious, which isn't necessarily bad, but it's a lot of money to ask. So that's my take.
All right.